Hey guys, I wanted to go ahead and do my race recap from the world's toughest 24-hour. Our goal going into it was to make history and get the car across the finish line, and that's exactly what we did. Now, the race didn't go as smooth as we wanted, and we did have some broken parts along the way, but it was still a great race, and we were able to say that we finished the 24-hour race, which is awesome. Friday, as normal, was our poker run, so that's our one and only time to see the course. Me and Sophia hopped in my razor. She did the first half of the poker run, and then I did the second. And then since Reese was more familiar with the car since she got to drive it when we went four-wheeling, she just went ahead and drove her Can-Am during the poker run. The course this year was way different than the previous years that I ran their 12 hours. Usually we have a lot of wide open sections, and the only thing you're really watching out is for the tree stumps. This year we had the tree stumps. They added a tight wood section, and there was just a lot of nuisance rocks we had to watch out for. We just needed to keep a good pace and keep the car together for that 24 hours. A lot can happen, and a lot did happen, so we weren't really too worried about it. After the poker run, we went into town to go to Vito's. That's where they tech the cars. We did driver's meeting, and then that's also where we pulled positions. We got fourth position, so we were right at the front for the land rush start. When we do the 12-hour and 24-hour races, they do a dead start, so the car is completely off. You have a runner. They run, they tap the car, you turn it on, and then you go. So getting the fourth spot was really nice because we were right at the front, less time to waiting. Race day was Saturday at 10:17. Reese and Sam got in the car. Reese had a really good start. Thankfully, the rain held off for the start. It did come later during her driving. I think most of her driving shift was rain. During their first lap, we got a text that the switch panel that runs the lights, backup camera, and the belt gauge wasn't working, and the car was going in the lit mode. When we got it, we kind of assumed maybe the Switch Pro just finally gave up and was fried, so maybe we needed to rewire some stuff. We weren't sure about the lit mode, so we had them finish the lap. They came in. That's when we figured out the battery wasn't charging because we had the Starlink running, and then there's just a whole bunch of stuff running, draining the battery. So we had Reese get out. We took the driver's seat out, had the battery charged for 10 to 15 minutes. And while we were having a battery charge, we decided that we just should kill the Starlink, which was running our live feed, to save the car. We also decided that anything that wasn't important, like the backup camera, it is helpful to know if somebody was behind you, but it's not really useful. We just decided all of that stuff should be turned off and only have what was needed. After we got the battery charge, they had a great run after that. Really smooth, didn't really have any issues. Reese drove till 2 o'clock. Then Sophia got in the car. She did a sight lap with Sam. And then after that, we came into pits. Then Ryan hopped in with her, which is her dad, and they went out. Sophia was running some really fast laps, keeping up a good pace and just keeping the car together. She got us moved up from, I think, to 11th or 10th. They never had to stop into pits for anything, so it was a really good run. She drove till 6 o'clock, and then I got in the car. Before I got in the car, we wanted to go ahead and switch to the other battery we had, hoping that it would be able to continue to run the car and be able to run lights since I would be the first of the night shifts, or going into the night. So once that we got that put in, of course, it's racing and nothing ever goes as planned. So it took a little long, but once the battery is in, put the seat back in, and me and my dad got in and did laps. We had some good fast laps too. I think I got us up to ninth. We ran the car for most of our 4 hours. We probably could have done another lap, but we were starting to run out of gas, so we figured since we already need to fill up gas, might as well do driver change. We were running out of gas so bad that every time we would do like a very tight turn, the gas would shift just enough and the car would kind of start to shut off on us. So we made it back into pits. I think it was 10 o'clock when we got in. Reese hopped in, they filled the car up. They did a lap, they had a good lap, and then they went out for their second one and made it to, I think, mile 6, and Reese hit a rock. So that caused the knuckle to break right where you stick the bolt in to hold the ball joint. So that broke, and then both ball joints on that knuckle, it was the passenger side, also broke, and the axle broke as well. For these races, you can have recovery, or you can have an escort bring you to your car and you fix it there. We figure since it was a lot of things to fix, we might as well just have recovery go and get them and tow them back to pits. So once we got there, everybody jumped in, started getting the car fixed. We put a new knuckle on, new ball joint, new axle. I think we ended up tightening the steering because that was kind of loose. We went ahead and made sure the ball joints on the driver's side were tight. We got them all fixed. I think it took about an hour or two. Then Reese and Sam hopped back in the car, went out for another lap, and for some reason, the knuckle bolt backed out. We're not sure why. So they stopped. My dad, Brian, and a couple others hopped in Brian's Defender and went out and had an escort bring them to the car so that way we could fix. Once they got there, they had realized that the rotor had bent, so they had to take the brakes off of the rotor and zip tie them up so that way where they were off of that. They fixed the bolt. They got the car back to enough where Reese could limp it back into pits. And once they got into pits, the plan was to replace the rotor, but when we were trying to replace the rotor, the studs wouldn't come out, so we ended up having to just use the hub and rotor how it is and not have that brake there. So we were running 3 brakes. It did make a slight difference, but not a ton. And as we were fixing, we decided, well, might as well just have Sophia get back in the car. So Sophia and Ryan hopped in. Once they got that all fixed, they made it maybe a half a mile, and the car still had power, but it had no throttle, and it was like popping and sputtering. So we had recovery go back out for them, and of course where they were, you can't go backwards on course, so it took a little bit longer to get them back to pits. We hooked up the tuner hoping maybe the tuner would tell us something. We couldn't really figure anything out off of that. We tried for a while trying to figure out different things, and then the guys finally figured they'll change the O2 sensor. So they changed the O2 sensor and replaced the fan, maybe thinking it got clogged or something like that. So we replaced the fan. We pressed on the gas while we were there, hoping maybe it would clear it out some. We thought it did. We sent Sophia and Ryan back out, and it kind of sounded better, but not really. But it was enough to get them to be able to go do another lap out there. It was a rough lap for them though. It wouldn't make it up the hill, so Ryan would have to get out and winch them up things. And it's not like the course was hard. It was just we had no power or no throttle, so it wasn't moving. One of the times he got out, he saw that the turbo and exhaust were bright red. So they went ahead and cooled off for a little bit, hoping maybe it would cool down, and that was maybe our problem. Turned out not to be. But then me and Sophia hopped in the car. I drove, she was co-driver, and went ahead to go finish. We made it down the hill and got it to a hill. It wasn't that hard any other time, but of course when you have no power, we made it up just a little bit and then stopped. Had to rev it to slightly clear it out, make it up just a tiny bit forward, get a little bit momentum. We made it, and then the last part of the course, it was this like a S-shape uphill through the trees. We had decent momentum until the very top, and it just wouldn't go anymore. We tried clearing it out, didn't work. So Sophia got out, she hooked the winch up and winched us up the hill. Thankfully, we only had to winch once. There was like a smaller hill right after that. We were good. She hopped back in the car, and we crossed the finish line. It was a great race. We really wanted to get a higher placing finisher, but we still finished the race. We got to cross the line. We were the youngest all-female team out there. We made history. I can't thank my sponsors and everyone that sponsored this race enough. Their support meant everything. and I can't wait to go out and do it again.